Hey everybody, my name is Eric. I'm making a game. The game is called the Godkiller. And I'm in a good mood. And I have been for some years because of this game. So there's this notion that when people try really hard to get someplace, to be something, to do something difficult, that they don't enjoy themselves along the way, and by the time they reach that goal of theirs, they're not happy afterwards, because it's like, what next? It's not like that with me. And I think part of it is because it's art. Art continues to exist as something you did after you've done it. So if Michael Jordan wins a game and he scores half the points in the game, and it's a record, it's like it was one moment where he proved himself, and the next day, there's the memories of it. I guess a few people might watch that basketball game again after the fact. But it doesn't, I don't know what it's like to be him, but to me it seems like if you've got something to show for it, something that exists after you're done, then it's going to be a lot more satisfying. So there's also that I enjoy making the art in the first place. I'm not saying it's high art or it's like some wonderful, beautiful Mona Lisa type thing that I'm doing, but it is art. And it is an expression of me. It's fun making it. It's fun releasing it, which I will do in 11 days. I'm ahead of schedule on that. I predicted earlier in the year that I'd be done by January 1st, and I set up different things to make sure I was close to that along the way. But I will be done with it, and I'll be happy when it's done. And more than that, I'll be happy a year later about it being done. How do I know this? How can I predict how I'm going to feel? Because I've done this before. I'll show you. I've done, writings. This is not to brag about me, okay? It's going to sound like I'm bragging about me, but what I'm trying to communicate is for somebody else that is thinking how much do they want to put into creating things? And I'm telling you, it's worth it if you've got a certain mindset. And I'll show you some stuff I've done. So Medium, top 10 mazes. I think that should be enough to find it. Maybe not. Okay. There's just a little article I wrote. Top 10 mazes you can't solve by following the right wall. Just a silly article I wrote one weekend. But it's me. It's like my silliness, my slightly clever thoughts, my artwork inside of it that I made. In fact, this art inside of here is based on another game that I created with help from other people. So even all these little tiles here, I actually drew those, but not for this article. I drew them for something else I did a long time ago. It's another aspect of creating things, is the pieces that you made prior, it can be used again in things you do later on. Okay, so just one little article. I've got maybe a dozen or so articles I've written. Again, this is not me bragging about me. I'm trying to tell you what my life is like. And if you're something like me, you might want to do things like this too. So I go to my channel, and there is, there's all the videos that have been Twitch streams for the last 4 years or so. And it makes me happy even just to look at the thumbnails, even just to say, look at this, there's this silly guy I drew. And then just looking at like all the different screens, all the different levels, how the colors are different from one place to another. The concept art here I drew for something that now exists in a more polished form. All of this stuff is just, it's got a hum of satisfaction to it for me, just like looking at it like this. I made this shit. It feels good. And there's stuff that's in the bank too. I can glance through here. I can see like this stuff, it's laying in wait to be delivered on the world. And I know it's pretty good. I spent some time looking at it. Just amassing all this stuff. I can see that I've gained some weight too over the course of years because I'm looking at slightly thinner versions of myself. Now, if I go way, way back, maybe about 4 years, there's some animations I made. Okay, so we come over here. See, it says animations.
I'm Jamie Jensen, and I'm here to change your life. Founder of 3 Fortune 500.
Okay. I'm going to say again, I'm not bragging. I'm telling you how like all the pieces fit together into a single lifestyle. Okay, so there's this character here I drew. A good friend of mine that I discovered through some other creative project voiced it. The lip animation here was done with a tool that I wrote, which was reused for the latest game. I learned just a ton of stuff about character animation in working on this project. Not that many people looked at it or watched it. I didn't get notoriety. 462 views for this first one. We submitted to a film festival. I say we, me and Yogi. They didn't take it. That's fine. Like I didn't get any place with this as far as views and likes and growing an audience. Got 8 likes here, 462 views. But I know a lot about mouth animation as a result. I know a lot about how to do animation cheaply and still get some kind of result, which is nice. I learned about licensing and photoshopping the fuck out of stock royalty-free illustrations and stock photography. All kinds of stuff like that. All kinds. And I can go backwards even further from this project, and there's some other animation projects I worked with Bettina Throckmorton on. There was like a art gallery thing that I set up with an exhibit with 3 projector screens, and so I love all that shit. It makes my life rich. And so there's none of this bullshit about like you get to the top of the mountain and then you're empty and cold inside, and there's just a big vacuum of nothingness and you have to find something else to search for me. No. It's like a triple payoff. It's a triple payoff. You get the pleasure of creating the art in the first place. You get that intense satisfaction from delivering it and releasing it out into the world and having other people look at it. And then you get this kind of warm afterglow to it. Here's all the things I've made, and they're just sort of piling up in the world. They're just all out there. And I love it. I love that. To me, that's a good life. I've tried to simplify the rest of my life as much as possible to allow me to spend the maximum amount on just creating shit. And that's me. And that's what I'm doing. And 11 days from now, I will have the largest thing that I've ever made creatively released. And I'll take a little bit of a break, not much of one. And I'll be thinking, what next? I got all kinds of ideas about what is coming next. And in fact, some is underway now. The Chapter 2 work, some of the media assets are being created right now. Bettina Throckmorton is working on a nice Chapter 2 illustration. All right, so tonight I've got bugs to fix. That's what I'm doing in these dwindling days. Got plenty of time to fix everything that's important to me. Okay, this one I just got done fixing off stream. Set this to done. Set this to 0. Let's see, and then I've got 11 dev days left. Okay, and 15 rows here, but none of them are day size tasks. There's some that are measured in hours. I put it half a day. Most of the ones that are measured in hours I can actually usually knock out in the evening. So let me pick something else to do tonight. Let's pick something that takes hours, because I'm feeling feisty. Okay, hours. All these are low priority too. Some of these are such a low priority that I almost might be better off to pick a new feature to do instead. I'm done with all the medium and high priority bugs and features. But let's do let's see if I can do this one. Just holding down a movement key while butting up against an axle that couldn't move. I think I might have fixed this one. Let's see what it looks like. Or with a change that I made, at least it may not be as large of a thing. So let's go to test stairs. Just my test level. I keep on adding little things too. Oh, I forget. I gotta do something before I start this. I need to get a Steam build out because Alex is gonna make some more screenshots. Okay, so let me do that first. For security reasons, I'm gonna put it back to my big stupid head view. And I'm gonna go to the Unity Cloud build and I'm gonna download all the successful builds from last night. I'm on a website which handles Unity builds. You can build Unity from your own local machine. Just this will build 4 concurrently, and it also sets up a clean build environment on each build, which was the original problem I had. That caused me to use Unity Cloud build. So down beneath here, I've got all these 4 downloading. So if you use the same development environment to make your builds, what seems to happen is like something gets a little bit like the state changes inside of your development environment. Different things you do inside of it. It could be as simple as you exit Unity without a proper exit, like the process force quits, and some file gets corrupted. that happened to me. I'm pretty sure that happened to me. At least it seemed that was the cause of it. And then I couldn't get a good build after that. Or you install a package, maybe uninstall it, you didn't like it, but there's still some residue to it. So the thing about Unity Cloud Build, which is nice, is it will set up a clean build instance each time. And if I decide to go back to local builds, I will probably want to create an environment where it will set up a clean build each time. So I see Bettina's got a little message for me, but I'm not going to put her right on stream. Let me take a quick look at it. Yeah, I can preview this. So here's Bettina working on the Chapter 2 illustration art. Looking good. Alright. Then hide that away in case she replies back with something she didn't mean to share. Okay, so we got all 4 of these guys downloaded. Now I just need to go through 17 simple steps. Simple steps to get it updated on Steam. You think I'm joking? I'm not really. I've literally documented this. 17 simple steps. Build all the distributables. Did that. Download them. Yes. Copy them all to Content Builder Previews. That's next. So this is a really boring process, and things that are boring and repetitive, I tend to have a risk that I'm going to screw them up. So I just put all the steps there. Ideally, it would be all automated. I just press one button and it would be done, but no such luck. Okay, so we want to go to Steamworks SDK, Tools, Content Builder, Content, Previous. Okay, I've got all these previous builds over here. So if I have to go back to an earlier one, I can without much trouble. You could call those build artifacts. This I put here. Okay, what did I say to do next? I said delete the contents of blah, 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 blah. Okay. For whatever reason, the Mac ones, they just have one file that unzips, and these 2 other ones, they make directories for Windows. That's just a quirk of Unity Cloud Build. Okay, then we delete these 2. I have to be a little bit careful. Tell me it was GKWin. Was it GKWin or GK Windows? Or something else. GKWin demo. Let me double check over here. GKWin demo. Got it. Okay, inside of here, open that. Let's see if everything looks healthy. GQN should be like a whole bunch of levels here. Okay, about 60. That's good. Over here, there should be maybe a 15 or something like that. Yep. And then these two, that is 1.81 gigabytes. Oh, I've been saying that you only need 1 gigabyte. I need to change that on the Steam store. Yeah, I should up that gigabyte count so that people don't think that 1 gigabyte will be enough. Should just add some extra onto it, say like 3 gigabytes or something like that, in case something changes in the future. All right. So then what does it say to do next? My instructions that I wrote to myself. Okay. Okay, so now it's building the 4 different versions. Not really building, they call it building, but all SteamPipe is doing is making an invasive little wrapper over the top of my game. And then it's uploading it. It's uploading it to Valve's server. And that will become available to me on the Steam portal to set live. While it's doing that, I'm going to get myself a glass of water. I'm going to be back in about 43 seconds. Okay. Guess I don't have to wait here for that. Let's move on to bug fixing and come back to that later. So I was trying to see if I could reproduce this bug. Now, if you are maybe a little bit new to software development, there's this idea of reproducing bugs. It's very important. A lot of new developers, it takes them a little bit of time to get this. Like a year, you know, with an actual job, you'll get it. You can't really fix a bug until you've reproduced. I mean, you can, but you'll never know if you've actually fixed it or not. If you were never able to reproduce it in the first place. So a thing that sometimes happens is developer tries different things and they try them one at a time, and then they make a release. They make a release and the bug is still there. and then somebody reports it a little bit later, then they put in some other bug fix, and then somebody reopens the bug later and says, oh, the bug's still here. I'm not getting a repro. I'm also kind of wondering if the original problem that the reporter saw was maybe something as subtle as what I'm seeing. So it doesn't stop immediately. But it doesn't feel queued up either. And I did make a change at one point where I'm kind of digging this slow camera movement thing. But I played with the camera movement so much already that I don't want to keep trying different camera movement speeds. The one I found was pretty carefully chosen, but it is kind of nice to see the slow movement. Okay, so I don't see anything worth fixing here. The thing which is sort of bothering me is not related to the reported bug. It's that there's no character animation for unsuccessfully pushing against an axle. And I was just thinking about it for a little bit. Is this the kind of thing where I could put quick animations together and get them working? But it's a little bit tricky. I could rotate the character in the direction of the push, and then have one animation where they're just pushing forward. I'm just picturing it in my mind. So that would mean the same animation has to do something that looks reasonable here, here, here. And it's a little tricky because that wall, that spoke, is a fair distance from her, so she's really got to put her back into it if it's going to look like she was actually pushing that thing. Now, if it's not blocked, then she would just walk into the square like normal. I think it's a very low value, high effort thing to add an animation there. Because, for one thing, this isn't like an action you're going to do all the time. So it's just like enough of a cue to say, ah, that won't work. That's really it. Okay, let's move on to another bug. This one I'll just say is no repro. Okay, let me think how I want to do this one. I think I got a pretty good idea how to do it. Okay, but let's see how our Steam is doing. Okay, still working at it. So I think I wrote some functionality like this already. I'm just blanking on where it was. Prefabs, level. Bonus clouds, combos. Oh yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it was used in the very last level. Boy, there's going to be a lot of code in here. Exit, near exit, exit stairs. Okay, I just wrote nothing general purpose, but some code that would just see what your height was when you're in a certain area. Okay. I still feel like I wrote some other code. maybe it was in here. Calc volume for distance, okay. Well, I think this is it right here. Who's calling it? Yeah, the egg portal util. Okay. Gotta do a pocket design. Are you done? Good. Okay, let's finish up with this Steam stuff. It's not a good thing to have two tasks going. Because, I don't know, context switching. Okay, let's close the build history. I gave myself a direct link. Ooh, good for me, it worked. I feel smart. It looks like I uploaded, yeah, I uploaded one earlier that I didn't actually release, which is fine. Okay. So I want to put over 72 and 54 into the default branch. Okay, 72 and 54. Okay, 72 and 54, right there. Now, is there a publish that I have to do along with it? I don't guess. Okay, verify the build time. Okay, did that. Didn't tell me that I need to do a publish. And I think I will find that if I go to the publish, that there's nothing to publish. Okay, view diffs. Anything different? Nope. Okay. So let's go to the other one. You know, this is much faster for me to do this. Writing down all the steps was pretty important. Okay, this is, oh, for the playtest, not for the playtest. We're done with the playtest. I need to change my instructions a little bit. It is this guy here, and then edit Steamworks settings, then builds. Okay, take this, copy the URL, replace this, bam. It's no longer true that I'm using playtest for the demo. There we go. Close that one. Take this one. Close that one. Okay. So it's December 21st. Okay, the one I'm saving over 81 and 91 to default branch. Preview the change. Set build live now. Yeah, really do it. Okay, so then that was 91. Let's do 81. Oh, I know something I need to do. that jumps in front of other stuff. Okay, so that should have everything updated. I'm going to send a few private messages to a few people. Okay, just send a quick note to Alex. I just updated demo and press builds. New changes on Steam. New changes. I'll say notable new changes because I don't want to list every single thing. Notable new changes. Blocks now have solid or transparent states. Skyboxes and ambient lighting mix some levels look prettier. Notable new changes affecting screenshots. Camera movement is smoother. That should do it. Okay. So there's something that I really need to do before I forget it, and I deleted a row that I shouldn't have deleted, or I set something to fix that included it. Remove net code and cheat keys from builds. Okay. So the net code is code that takes your solutions and uploads them to a server that I created. And that was valuable for playtesting. But with 11 days left, I'm kind of nervous I might accidentally leave it in. I don't want the cheat code there. I want people to work at getting through the levels for their own enjoyment. And I don't want the netcode because somebody's going to think I'm spying on them. And the last thing I want people to worry about is whether I'm spying on them, whether I'm installing malware on their system. My game does not need to go off to a special server and log your solutions to levels. I will not collect data beyond just some. Actually, for me, nothing is being sent to me. But Steam, yeah, they collect data. They do collect data, usage statistics and things like that. So I need to take out that netcode or make it at least so it definitely doesn't go out in the player builds. Let's go to the main object. So I've got these here. If I just take that out. What if was I smart enough to just make this a conditional compilation thing? Oh, I could remove test release. That's probably the way to do it. So for that, I have to go to Unity Cloud Build. Alright. This won't take me long, but I do need to do it without showing everything on Unity Cloud Build, unfortunately. It's probably going to take me 2 minutes. So there's a configuration screen that I'm going to, and I go to the advanced options, and there's custom defines. And one of the custom defines that I wrote on this configuration was test release. Bam. Okay. So then I save that. One down. I have to go through and do each of these. Each of 4. One down, 3 to go. Okay. Okay, then I come down to the third of 4. Going into advanced options. Remove the test release flag. I'm always pleased when some earlier version of myself came up with a pretty good way to do something, and then it is like somebody else besides me handed me the solution. 'Cause it doesn't feel like I came up with it, even though I did. If you've ever seen this movie called Memento, there's a guy with tattoos all over himself. He has short-term memory loss. He's always forgetting what happened just a moment ago, but he's got this whole system of like tattoos that gives him clues about like who to trust and what situations to avoid and stuff like that. And that's what it feels like when I see that I've already done something the right way a while ago. Okay, I think I got all that done, and then I can switch off this sensitive screen and bring back on my work screen. Okay, so that should fix that. I'll know later if I broke the build with something here, but I don't think I did. I can't really test it very well here without janking up everything. Maybe just to make sure it's a good change, I'll just see all the places where I've got this stuff. So, services enabled. Main object has got it. Replay manager's got it. Connection values has it. Net data has it. And I can look at each one pretty easily with Writer. Writer's nice that way. So this is behind test release. Test release. Okay, so if I look down here, I've got this stuff. Okay. This looks fine. I'm going to call that one done until proven otherwise. Okay. Don't want to do this one because it's a high spoiler level. Could really ruin some plot events for people if I do it on stream. Oh, the exit music. That's right. I was working on that one. Yeah. So then let's go back to the pocket design. Let's see. My requirements. Able to hear fading. I'll say distance based volume of level exit. Height. Okay, height is part of it. Height affects it. Height, okay. Standing at different heights doesn't cut it out. Cut it to 0 volume. Okay. Can set a custom area. Let's say a cuboid. Covering, defining area in which can hear level exit, but otherwise as a default. Okay, so that seems not too hard. Okay, one piece of this I know I'll use almost certainly is calc localized volume. In fact, I'll just put settled. Use sound and environment util calc localized volume. Yeah. You know what? Let's say reference instead of settled. Okay, number one. Exit discovery has a built-in zone that is set the same dimensions as sound effects is using, plus plus 5 minus plus minus 5. No, plus 5 minus 5. Okay. Let me see what the code inside of sound effects does. Exit. Update exit approach. Calc, pan, volume, localized. Okay, then you got your max nearby exit distance. I gotta remember the pan stuff too. Okay. Exit util max nearby exit distance. Where's player transform from? Oh, is that from a static variable? Me and my stupid static classes. Actually, nothing wrong with a static class. It's when you just defeat the purpose of a static class by making a bunch of static members. Okay. Okay, so if in the zone, now let's see, how is this actually checked? Sound effects, there's going to be some code, like on board, no? Update exit approach. Who is calling that start exit approach? Who else? Update, okay. Okay, so it's just gonna base it on the position of the player. Okay. this will get called when? When will it get called? Exit util, huh? Update for approach. Okay. You say nearby exit. Is there a nearby exit? Get nearby exit. If there's no nearby exit, we just say stop. Stop. If there is a nearby exit, then we start the exit approach. Okay. So get nearby exit will have to be rewritten. Well, it's all right here. Like, I don't necessarily have to touch the other code. It's right here. Okay, and there's already the stuff here that says, okay, if you aren't on the same height, exclude that. Okay, so it's all in this function right here. Finds closest exit that is close enough to here. Okay. Doesn't have to be a zone. If I do make it a zone, then I have to give it a unique name. So let's just call it has a built-in cuboid. I could make it a collider. That causes other troubles. What was the other type thing? You can do a trigger. Well, do I really want to reuse a Unity trigger? Let me see. Unity trigger. No, I don't want triggers. Don't want that garbage. Okay. So I'm modifying get nearby exit. It's going to be an algorithm like this for each level exit. Is player inside called audible box. Or audible range, audible range. If player position inside audible range, kind of want to make it a bounding box. So if I gave it, can I get bounds without there being a collider on it? That's my question. So let me see where else I've done bounds. Zone util. Okay. Zone discovery. Bounds equals transfer game object. Blah 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 blah. Bounds. Bounds to min max serial shoot. Okay, that's useful. Let me check and see. So here it sets the render to be false. Let me check and see if a zone actually has a collider. Because if it doesn't, then that would tell me that I'll still be able to get the bounds without a collider. Okay, so entity, Pro Builder Mesh Filter, box, there is no collider there. Okay, let's just delete that. Okay, so that tells me that I can create a similar object on the level exit, and it just won't be a big deal. Kind of curious how this is centered. So 9, -2. Oops. Let's move this into the level. Okay, so this is 9, -2. This is 10, -2. Oh, well, the Z is what's important than the X. Okay, 10, 8. 9, 9. So it looks like it's centered right in the middle. Is that right? So now it's at 10, 8 and 10, 8. Yeah, okay, so it's centered right in the middle. Okay, that'll give me normal camera movement settings so I don't get weirded out. Okay, so yeah, back to the design. there's a little bit of discovery work. So let's do exit discovery. Do I have an exit discovery already? No, I'll have to create one. Exit discovery. Get bounds and store min max CRH. See some discovery or pattern. And then I need the distance, the furthest distance from the center. For corner farthest from exit center, eval 8 corners. For corner farthest from exit center, store max audible distance. Let's see, and then what else is needed here? Pass. Min CRH, max CRH, max audible distance to exit piece. Okay. Player piece get CRH not inside of exit piece min CRH max CRH and skip. Okay. Get distance to center. Okay, tricky part is some of this information has to move around. There's a lot of work for this level of customization. And it's not just the amount of work to do it, but it's also the possibility of introducing a new bug. So I'm actually thinking of a much simpler way to do this. Incomplete solution. Okay, number 2. Doesn't meet all the requirements above. Modify get nearby exit to allow exits at different heights. That's it. I'm going to do that first because it's going to take me 5 minutes. I can try it out and see if it's suddenly a good solution. What I'll not get with this is that ability to customize certain areas so that the exit noise doesn't play when you're, say, behind a wall or something. But I'm just not worried about that. Oh, this is kind of nice. So I can take out this. I can make this be get not distance score, just distance. Let's do get distance. I'll make a new thing. Not score, just distance. Distance. Okay. CRH util. Probably the easiest thing is just to use vector 3 distance, and hopefully, oh, you're gonna make me do a new vector thing. Okay, well, it's just a struct, which means I'm not going to be allocating anything here from the heap. And then new vector 3, 2C, 2R, 2H. Okay. Let's put these in. It shouldn't matter, this translation I'm doing, but it'll be a little more correct. A little bit easier to know that I put it in the expected way. Okay, now what? Okay, so this should honestly be a float. And let's start making these floats. Float. Float. Okay. Cool. So this might work out of the box. Let's try it. I can still hear it up here. Seems to work pretty well. Makes sense. You know what? I'm gonna call that one fixed. So before it would be that if I would step up here, it would disappear. No more. Let's go to a different level. This is a good one.
Okay, no navel-gazing. No messing around. Just find the exit and get the hell out of here. Oh, pretty present. I do not need you.
So here I'm underneath it a little bit. But I can still hear it. Kind of faint. I think I can just hear it barely. I really like these clear blocks. They will be clear until they're spelling something that closes a letter gate or letter bridge. Okay, that's another one done. It did not take hours, it took minutes. Minutes, I tell you. Alright, let's see if I can repro this next one. I'm just flying through these. One. Some gameplay spoilers on this. First I gotta see if I can reproduce it. It might be a little tough.
Welcome to Precipitalis. Baldface wants to see you in his office.
Who's...
So he knocked me against the present, and I took it. There was an assertion failure. Oh, it's because of this song. There's another bug related to that. I mean, I don't even know how they're gonna block me. There's only 3 of them. That's working. I don't know if I'm gonna get a repro on this. There you can hear the exit sound. This was one of the places where it might have been okay to wall off the sound so you can't hear it. But I also think it makes sense to be able to hear it through the wall. You're near it, but you're not within reach of it. Okay, I'm not seeing a repro. It wasn't a terrible bug in the first place. I might have fixed it. I have changed that logic for killing you when you have run out of moves. Okay. So I'm going to say no repro on that. Okay. This one here I want to wait on. Do it off stream. Okay, so let's go back to this. Might be in the category of I could fix it, but I'm not sure about the ramifications. This late in the development cycle, I'd have to be extra cautious about what I change. Okay, so here's the gist of it. So I can push a block. And that kills him. I don't know. Whoa. Oh, he's trying to get to this block pad. I see. Grouchy little guy. Let me turn on Pacifist Mode for the player. So this makes it so she's not supposed to be able to kill the Groldy. Can still do it. Can't push. Okay, let's make this a little easier to get going again. Okay, this is a nice thing to have here because I can move it out of the way. I can either make it a fatal or non-fatal thing for the Groldy to be pushed. So I'm thinking about, what if I just made a rule that if it's the player pushing and the player's in pacifist mode, that it'll stop. It will not allow the push. Let me get some notion of how much work that would be and how dangerous of a change it is this late. Okay, push E2. See what special casing I already put in. Pacifist. No, I did not write any code there. Let me just look throughout the code to see where I'm checking for pacifist. Would pacifist fall on creature? Okay, I've got some check there. So for flinging, I've got something. I don't have anything for pushing. I do have some nice utility functions I could reuse. Turn null if no creatures, player included, are along the flat path. Okay, so you can still throw it on top of somebody. Okay, where is this being checked for? Find creature in push path. Who is calling you? Oh, all blocks work. Okay. Alright, I'll be right back. Right back. Ah! Stubbed my toe in a fan. Alright, let me clear this chat. X equals 2. Bam. So I've got this code already written. I used it elsewhere. And it worked. The place to check for it is in walk-util. This might be an easy one. One problem is okay. You can also touch pieces. It's a different way to push things. Only the player piece has the pacifist stance. So I can do touching. Let me see what the block piece touch code looks like. Okay, this is where it ends up pushing. Cool. Would push creature. It's going to be this is the CRH of the block, CRHC, CRHR, CRHH, and then I've got the delta, CRH, DC, CRH, stop that, CRH, DR, and then the board. Return false. That might be all the code I need. Okay. Dang it. It's kind of fun to do that. Oh yeah? Okay, I need to make it not work that way though. I think there's two kinds of pushes. I think there's touch pushes and walk pushes. And I think that is a touch push. Or that's a walk push that I'm doing, but the code I added was for a touch push. So to make it do a touch push, I need, hey, don't replace, don't do anything. Okay, just add that there. Oh no! No! Okay, jeez. I do not like seeing dang it. Now I gotta fix it. Dang it! It did not work. Okay, so let's, I guess, check that. Purpose is pacifist and would push creature. That looks like good code to me. Alright, let's keep going. He gets into position. Oh, he's touching it. Well, you're not a player piece, so it will knock it out of the way. But I will give you your toy back. Okay, that counts as touching. Cool. Well, maybe the rail is not the thing. Okay. Let's try this. This must be predictive. Is this predictive? No. This is the Groldy. The Groldy is pushing. Okay. Okay, now I get to do my push. This is the one that I'm hoping will be blocked. It'll say, like, you're a pacifist. How can you even contemplate doing this? Okay, so it is the touch handler. That's good. Okay, this is probably where it fails. From C, from R, from H. In peace. Null. It's null here. Okay. Okay. Push. The touching piece is pushing. I probably have the coordinates wrong. Maybe I should be passing the coordinates of the touching piece. And the DC and DR is pointing in the direction that the block is at. Maybe that's the correct way to call this. I'll try that. That seems promising. Okay, one. Dang it. The fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I know this wood push creature code was working before. Drill into this. Oh. Okay. Find pushable end piece. This is probably going to return null. 7, 4, 13. Seven, 4, 13, 1, 0. Let's go look. Okay, that's just going to add 1 to this. 7, 4, and this will change to 8, 4, 14 from H. Wait, from H is 13? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Target CRH. From H was 13. From C, 7, 4. And you went to 8, 4, 14. Like you climbed on top. You climbed on top of the piece. I don't think I have any correction for that. Huh. Feels like this would always be wrong. Yet I know this code was working. So this is going to be null. But if I look underneath 8414 to 8413, what do I find? Eight, 4, 13 is what I want. 8, 4. There's the block. Okay. So you went on top of the block. Okay. So where to correct this? Who's calling you? Wood push reactant, wood push creature. Who's calling wood push reactant? Checker piece. Oh. Checker piece is, that's the Groldy. Well, these are checks to see if their pushing would cause trouble. By pushing somebody besides the player. A reactant is a subset of creatures. A reactant are just all the creatures other than the player. What is this can walk from to stuff? Alright, would push reactant. Boy, there's quite a bit of stuff here. Okay, would push reactant. Okay. Would push reactant. It says find pushable M piece. But blocks are different than other M pieces. Because blocks will cause a temporary wall to be placed wherever they are at. And that means that this guy's going to interpret that as your predicted movement going into that block square is you'll stand on top of the wall. It's only one square high. But I think I'm calling the wrong function, though. Hold on. Got so lost in all this stuff. Go back to walk util. No, go back to block piece. So not would push creature. There's a different function inside of push util. Yeah, because this is only checking just the immediate square. Find creature in push path. And this is only called by all blocks? Yeah. And this works. This is the one you want. Okay, got it. Got it. That's good. I didn't touch that code, and I'm glad I didn't. Okay. So it goes board. CRH. And I feel like I'm doing too much conversion between direction and deltas, so I'm just going to do an override. Then we'll do DC, CRH, CRHD, DR, not equal null. And okay, what? Find creature in push path. What is the? Tell me the signature again. Oh well. Oh, I already do have this. I already wrote this. Good. So this will be CRH C, CRH R, whoops, I saw you do something different. CRH H. Okay, there we go. Weird. I understand why it does that, but that will not. That will not work. So it's saying you can't push it because that would cause the guy to die. But since you can't push it, it's only one high. Go ahead and boom, step up on top of it. Ah, boy. It's even hard to say what the bug is. It just doesn't make much intuitive sense. I can push it this way. Make sure this works too. Okay, there it's blocked proper. This won't matter. Still blocked. Okay. And that's even weirder still. What happened there was the player attempted to push the block, momentarily stepped above it with that same weird behavior, and then the Groldy knocked the block west and the player dropped down. But because this game animates everything happening really fast with very little delay, all three of those things happened at one time, and it just looks very confusing. But this my problem is I could stop the player from being able to push the block like that. It does seem to beg the question, well, if the block is only one square high and you're not pushing it, shouldn't you be able to step on top of it? I think most players are going to think it's a bug that you can step on top of it. So it's more intuitive to stop the player from being able to push it and also disallow them from making an action after that. Don't allow the player to step on top of a block. Punk. Oh, that'll kill me. Okay, I'll go back this way. Okay, so here's the place where if I push it, what I really want to happen is it just makes a little X mark on it and blocks me. What happens instead is you get to walk on top of a block. Which seems cool, but like it would break so many puzzles, and I already decided I didn't want to have an ability to just walk on top of blocks, because that means you'd have to have an extra verb in the controls that says now I'm climbing onto a block as opposed to just pushing it. I don't like having lots of different controls. I think it makes it harder to enjoy the game. It adds complexity without it being interesting. So let me see how hard it would be to make it so that you just stop. That would be in walk util. Okay, so what's the way to do this? I could put it in walk ramped. I could put a check to see if you're walking up onto a block. And then just stop you. Or I could put it right here too. I think I like it here because I'm a little bit closer to the logic that would have generated the situation. If we were stepping up and board get let's see, call row. Stop it. God, your bad guesses. Yep. It's my fault with my typo, actually. So let's do this. So no height plus DH, but yes plus D row. Yes plus D call. Let's write this as something a little bit nicer. So stepping onto block equals not blocked equals not stepping on the block or walk ramped. Okay, and this is the way that this can happen is fairly convoluted. Possible when pacifist player can't push a block with creature and path. Let's see. Wait, not stepping on the block. And wait a minute. Wait, hold on. These double negatives are messing me up. Let's change this to blocked. Change this to blocked. And we'll change this to stepping on the block or. Okay. Okay, now it'd be great if this worked. I'm honestly getting nervous because these are the kind of fundamental changes that are likely to introduce bugs. Nice. That's what I want. Okay. That way I can push it this way. Okay. Do pretty much everything so far. Oh, what happened there? Did it go through him? Maybe I don't know what happened. I think he just momentarily stepped out of the way and I didn't notice it. I think this is gonna work. Yeah, I think I nailed this one. I think I got it. Alright, I'm gonna play some Groldy levels to test this out. So let's do this one first. This one's just crazy, crazy boxes.
Phew. I made it. Done with the basement. After all that psychodrama, you know what sounds good? Blocks. Blocks, blocks, blocks.
It's making me happy. So I just love how these new boxes look. They just give you a lot more to look at. You know, they're just not quite as simple as they used to be, and they cast nice shadows on the walls. And it's like, what kind of box am I looking at? Is it made out of glass? What is it? Okay. Let's do a Grolly level.
Hey, fella.
I'm happy. Holy crap. That was about the most complex thing I want to put into the game this late. Okay, let's get rid of all that. Save that. Then I did like 3 things tonight that I had marked down as hours, like half a day apiece. They're done. They didn't take hours, it took minutes. This one I can do off stream. There's one thing I was kind of interested in doing, which is purely cosmetic. You know, I'm not going to commit to doing this now. I just want to play with it a little bit. The idea was I'd be able to put some molding on the windows that would make them look a little more detailed and interesting. So I will give it a shot. It's a weird skybox. It's basically got all this sideways light shining really brightly at everything. If I want to have it turned on. And then the top, not so much. Okay. So one way to do this might be to create some corner pieces and then just sort of stretch them into place once they're placed, once they're put in position. Let's set the snap. Be 0.1. And Tools, Pro Builder. Let's start with a cube. 0.1. 0.1. Build it. I might also be able to do something like have it automatically size itself, maybe. Let's just see how it looks first before I start thinking how to mass scale it. Just looked a little too simplistic for my taste. A little too much like programmer art. So there's another game called Manifold Garden. And it has a fairly similar workflow for creating the 3D modeling. Although they have some constructive solid geometry stuff. But it is Pro Builder based like this. But the reason it looks good, or a reason it looks good, there's many reasons why it looks good, is all the geometric details And this game is sparse on those kind of geometric details, and that's mainly just lack of time and resources to create them. But I'm trying to do a little bit better. Okay, let's see. Let's call that molding. Let's find some. I think that's the right word, molding. Window molding. Hold on. Parts of a window frame. Yeah, this. Okay. What do you call it? Casing. That might be what the proper name is for it. Interior casing. Side jam. Kind of love how there's names for all these little things. I think it's the casing. It's not terribly important, but names are nice. Correct names are nice. Let's see, what do they use the same terminology here? Casing. It's the casing. See, when you get to be a middle-aged man, you start getting real excited about things like this. Well, casing, that's what it's called. And I'll stand around with other middle-aged men talking about casing on windows. What kind of casing you got on that window? Oh, vinyl. You went with vinyl casing. Okay. Nothing wrong with vinyl. But is that going to fit with your exterior sill? Huh? Because your exterior sill looks like it's, I don't know, maybe pine or something like that, with a varnish treatment over the, that kind of shit. Pretending you're a craftsman. That's what middle-aged men like to do. Just pretend they know stuff. All right, let's give it a different texture. What would make sense? Could just go with the wall again. Let's just try that as a starting point. I mean, that's not bad. That is not bad. I think it would look better if it was something else, though. So let's go with it. What is this? Bone wire? What's bone wire? I don't want no bone wire material. That's garbage. I mean, that's kind of cool, but it won't match with everything. Let's do some wood. Kind of like that. That's not bad either. Block border. Now I've set up a little showroom for myself in a Store that sells window casings. That's all the store does. They just sell window casings. Alright, let me just see what that looks like in the game. See if it makes me happy or not. It does look better. I somehow... Oh, okay, this just didn't do the pre-process yet. Okay, cool. I like it, but it is a little too pronounced. If I just had something that was not quite as striking. You know what I'm thinking I'd love to have for chapter 2 is just more objects that you can drop down and they generate their own details. Like cosmetic details that make them look more interesting and better. Okay, let me play the texture a little more. I think I've got brass. Yeah, let's try brass. Another thing that I did pretty consistently in the game was anytime there was squares underneath, I would make them be wall squares. Oops. I think I will do the same thing here. To do without 1 meter unit snapping, but not that hard. It doesn't matter if I'm off by a little. Okay, this time we'll do a pre-process. It may not pick up all the changes. All right, let's see what this looks like. Maybe it could be done with shaders, where the textures just get details calculated into them automatically. So for example, I wouldn't mind having like a little bolt, just a little bit of texture that showed a bolt like every so often. Now I could just do that with a repeating texture. I could do that, but suppose I wanted the spacing to change depending on how close it was to a corner and other logic like that. Or I wanted every once in a while to have a little scratch in the texture. An extra weird bolt or something, an L bracket, something that's just generated automatically. I love this idea of just having details be procedurally generated instead of fussing them with them artistically. Not that I don't like visual arts and modeling and don't appreciate it, but it's extra cool to have details just happen. I have done some of that. I've got procedurally generated pipes and lights on the walls, for example. Okay, I do like brass quite a bit more than the wood. It seems like a more general purpose material that'll look correct in different situations. Okay. So one question I'm asking myself now is, if I'm going to have this molding, not molding, casing, do I want a different interior material between the casing? Like right now it's just showing like the wall texture. Maybe it looks better if I've got like a different material on the inside of it. I really do like this casing though. That part I'm settled on. I do like the casing. I like having some extra excuse for the line shader to draw more outlines around geometry. And it gives you more to look at. Gives you more details to look at. Okay. I could probably do something like have a set of prefabs that will fit in at the corners automatically of the window. Add a script to each window that has a little click apply button in the inspector, and when you click on it, it adds in moldings. I could also just search for every object that has got window in the scene and then just add moldings to it in one operation there. Okay, so I could write that code. I suspect that would take me about 1 day to write that code. I could also create a little kit which has some corner pieces that you plop into place, and then you just grab the edges of one side and extrude them to get the rest of the dimensions correct. I'd have to go through maybe about 100 windows like this one and put the casings on them by hand. Let's say each one took me 15 minutes. That is that's 1,500 minutes. How many hours is it? This is boring work too. That's one thing I have to remember. That's 25 hours. Assuming I'm right with some of my numbers I put in that estimate. Like, are there 100 windows? It sounds about right. There's at least one level that's just like full of fucking windows. I'll take a look at it and get an estimate of the number of windows. It probably wouldn't take me 15 minutes per window after I got in a groove. It's probably more like 5. So it's comparable in time. Let's take a look inside the level. How many windows? Windows, blue windows. It won't give me a count, will it? Some of these are compound geometries too. But there's, okay, so from here to here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 80. Okay, my estimate wasn't bad. This is the main place for those windows. There's going to be like 85 windows here. It's probably closer to 150 windows throughout the whole friggin' game in all the different levels. So let's say 150 windows. Then that makes it clear to me that if I want to do this thing, it should be done with code. It should be automated. I'll spend less time writing that code than I will manually installing these things like a blue-collar laborer. Well, cool. I'm not going to start that tonight because it's like a day-long thing. But I will do it. I like how it looks. I'm going to keep it simple. Something like this. And I think there is a corner piece. Goes here. Well, there's 4 corner pieces for each window. And then there's the vertical and horizontal pieces, which need to just scale on one dimension to extrude them out to whatever the correct length is. So let's see, 7:30 tonight. I will just make the pieces. I'll make the pieces that make up the window casings. That's it. That's all I'll do tonight. I'll write the code later. But it's gonna look good. It's gonna look good. Okay, so we'll say There's the cube. Let's see. I have an option to make this a little more complex if I want to. But nah, I don't think I will. Okay. So this stuff is always a little tricky for me, to be honest. You know what? It's all the same prefab. Because, yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Okay. So my code is just going to take one of these guys. Let's call it casing cube. Okay. Yeah, I think I want to start this tonight, but I don't want to like keep going tonight to finish it. I go into Windows, and then I take this, yeah, that's it. I'm done with the prefabs I need. The next thing will be for the windows, they'll all get some kind of script. What is this selection base? Oh, that was the thing I made so that if I add it to a top level, it's not gonna. I won't end up selecting the child objects of it. Pretty sure it was. Let's look. Yeah, it's this thing here. Okay. Yeah. That's a very useful script. Okay, so the code is going to look at the bounds of the window, and it's going to place cubes inside of the window. So let's move this inside here. Okay. That is another issue. I will need to what? Oh, we gotta plan dinner. What? Sounds good. Okay. So I will not be able to instance the casing cube inside of this prefab, which is a stupid limitation, I think, but whatever. Right? It's just adding an object, like an override, so I don't know why they won't allow me to do it, but okay, so what does that mean? I have two choices. One, I can either just unpack all the windows inside of each level, or I can create the casings as a separate object. It's not a child of the window. I could put it inside of the decorations, which isn't a bad idea. I've done that before. If I was really doing this correctly, I would have different pieces for the different parts, because then you can say we're going to delete some unseen surfaces from this. Okay, but the script would take the casing cubes. Dude, I cannot do any thinking until we're done with this. Yeah, swamped. Yeah, delivery. No, I'm not gonna go downstairs and cook Swedish meatballs tonight. I'm busy. Okay. So that goes there. And that'll come. This will come over here. These will all be inside of that decorations directory. And thinking about this a little bit more. Okay, some corners. Like that. And then I'd have on the caddy corner side, same thing. But then the code would look at the bounds of this window, it would place these at the corners, and then it would take this guy, and I was about ready to extrude it with Pro Builder, but that's not what it's going to do. It's going to scale it. And there'll be some calculation to figure out the right scaling. So let's start with a test calculation. Let's do 10. It will also be positioning this. I think I could maybe see if I can guess this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is 60 minus 2 for the corners. So we'll say 58. And I guessed it exactly right. Except that one side's got to go into this corner. But I get it though. Okay, so this one, it will be scale of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50 minus 2 is going to be 48. Yeah, so that works like a champ. And same thing on the other side. And then I'll have to do rotation logic as well. No, not rotate. Yeah, so that's how it's done. That's not hard. It's quite easy. Well, easy is the wrong word, but it's straightforward. So the algorithm is going to be place the 2 corner pieces, 4 corner pieces actually, and then extrude them. Not extrude, scale them. Scale the extending pieces. And this is a good place to stop because my phone's heating up with like dinner conversation. And my brain is getting a little bit tired, so it's about the right time to knock off. I made good progress tonight. I don't mind stopping in the middle of something. I knew it was going to be a larger problem to work on. I've got the prefabs down pretty well. So that's a nice stopping point. I understand the algorithm. It'll be tricky to get it all working correctly, but I think a day will work. And it'll just apply these casings to all my windows, and they'll look like nicer windows than they did before. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to getting this game out. If anyone's lurking, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to stop the stream right about now.